ignite possibilities.
Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you America's top foundational health coach, Dr. Joe D.
Welcome to Life's Milkshake Moment. Boy, are you in for a treat today. I'm telling you, thank you so much for coming on board. And actually, I played that recording, that snippet from J.B. Owen. Really, the reason that I got into publishing the first time, it's always that person who makes the spark. And now we've created our own anthology, Health-a-Pedia. There's that spark. When I met Les Brown in the 90s, in the late 90s, I'm not very big, y'all. Well, I just hid behind the speakers. It was a big convention. I had done something on weight loss. And I said to Les Brown, I will be working with you one day. Who knew? 2020 came around and it's been the most glorious 3 years of my life. And for those of you that don't know me, I guess I better introduce myself. I'm Dr. Jody Bear, known as America's top foundational health coach. And for 43 years, what I have been able to do is living my life, igniting my life, and living the life of my dreams. Frankly, to have a 1.1 million pounds of toxic fat lost in my client base and over 3,000 in this COVID era, that to reclaim, restart, and re-engage and just remake their lives. Because no food tastes as good as health feels. And nothing beats when you take care of you and your world first. The world around you is empowered forever. That's me, little Jody, back in Montana. This little girl, this brown-eyed, brown-haired ponytail girl. You see, I found out my gift. I was about 5 years old, and I found out I had a set of lungs. I could sing, and sing I did. See, I lifted my mother out of her depression. She was a young widow. She had been without her soulmate since 36 years of age. Now, turning 40, what was her hope? Well, she poured herself into my sister and myself, and I found out that I had a musical gift. You see, she gave me hope. Hope is the last emotion when all else fails. You hang on to that hope. You're going to hear many, many stories in Health-a-Pedia, our anthology, about that hope. But frankly, I will tell you something about hope, because all of a sudden, do you have something that ever hits you out of the blue? I was broadsided On my way to my classical training, I was a classically trained now vocal soprano singing Handel's Messiah. That never happened. Whatever hits you out of the blue and you say, I need hope. You know that, my viewership, you know that, ladies and gentlemen, that thing that you just want, that hope. You see, my next waking moment, I was face down in a surgical halo. And my mother gave me hope again. She said, Jody, the doctors only see what they see. They don't know who you are. So who are you in those times of hope? Who are you in those times that you reach down into yourself? You see, I call that my hotel room, even being paralyzed from the shoulders on down. I said, I'm leaving this hotel room. And I did. 6 months later, I walked out of that hotel room and I never looked back. Haven't been in a hospital since. You see, when you decide what you ardently desire and most amazingly believe in your mind's eye, in your spirit's eye, and your heart soul eye, it will come to pass. And it did for me. Now that we're here doing my vision from mission to fruition, I've spoken about Health-a-Pedia. I've spoken about how I now was a young health coach. My mother had passed away, but she gave me that mantle of hope before she passed on. You see, I found health coaching in the middle of all that. I felt health coaching when she had pancreatic and liver cancer. And she said to me, Jody, they've given me only 6 weeks to live. I went back to Montana. I found absolutely age-old protocols from Edgar Cayce, and it gave her 2.5 years of life, way beyond her 6 weeks to live diagnosis. She gave her mantle of hope when she said to me, Jody, give others hope the way you've given it to me. Then, how did Health-a-Pedia started? Because I knew I wanted to give my young son hope. They'd given him this diagnosis, pigeonholed him in being, he was just me with testosterone. He had a lot of energy. And guess what? I attracted Hulda Clark into my life. I was watching the Phil Donahue show, and she said, what if these children just are wired a little differently? Maybe they're exceptional children. She said she lived in Atlanta. This was no anything, GPS, any PS, no internet, no even dial-up AOL. I became a female Indiana Jones, and I set out to find out where Hulda Clark lived. I found her, and she said to me, I'm not taking any patients. Well, I will say my youngest son was pretty cute with those big blue eyes and that blonde hair, that Dutch boy cut. I said, you won't take him? She said yes. Then she just did a reversal. And our second guest here, Sue Kostyk, does the same with Whole Foods, because foods can heal. You can heal your mind, body, and soul. The foods that she gave me healed him. She did protocols that I use to this day. And then I said to Hulda Clark, you will mentor me, won't you? And she said, I'm not mentoring anymore. You see, I'm turning 70. I said, you will mentor me. And she did. She created this burning, towering inferno. I said, I'm going to change the planet. I absolutely knew that it would be for the betterment. And here we are. You see, I wrote this goal card when I was being mentored by Hulda Clark. And I said on this goal card, I will pen the Eastern medical version of the PDR. I'd forgotten about it, went on with life, been having a thriving practice all these years. Well, 2020 came around. We all did a little bit of cleaning out of our closets now, didn't we? Who could say out there, yeah, I cleaned a few closets. Well, out came this gold card, crumpled up, and it said, 1984, I will pen the Eastern medical version of the PDR. And here in 2023, this is what we have. 40 authors giving strength and tenacity and hope in their stories, giving the world hope. There is hope in healing. There's hope in those 6 pillars that I talk about: spiritual, physical, mental, emotional, social, and financial. This is what we do here and what we'll be doing here in Health-a-Pedia. Our book launch is the 18th of September. I want to just say one more time, JB Owen, if you hadn't have said and asked me and allowed me to say yes, and coming in to this book with Ignite the Hunger in You with Les Brown, then I found myself being mentored and coached with him now for 3 years. Here we are, vision, mission to fruition in so many ways. But it's just not my story. It's the stories that you will hear over and over and over again in the countless people in our book. That's why I played Les Brown, because these 2 wonderful guests that I'm going to bring up right after this commercial break, you see, it's that same soul tribe that we found each other. It's just, without a doubt, there are no coincidences, as Dr. Bernie Siegel says. There are no coincidences, just only loving on each other that we find each other. And frankly, I know there is a place where we found each other. Even on the tail end of this project, I knew that Karen Rudolf and I knew that Sue Kostyk just needed to be and have their say in our book, and they are here. I'm so grateful. I am so grateful that they are part of this. So let's look and see about this book launch. Let's see about this book launch that's happening just in a very few days. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 4 days. 40 authors are going to convene on the scene on the 18th of September. You can get your copy then. You can get your free download. Give an honest review, and you will see vision, mission to fruition, not only just with my story, but the 39 others. So let's watch a little bit of Health-a-Pedia, shall we?
While being mentored and studying with the iconic pioneer in natural healer, Dr. Hulda Clark, and experiencing her life-changing practices and protocols, a goal card was written and dated in 1984 stated, "I will write the Eastern medical version of the PDR, Physician's Desk Reference. The universe delivered a sign to actualize this goal. Now in 2023, we are experiencing vision and mission into fruition. Health-a-Pedia has arrived, led by the iconic 20th and 21st century icon, Dr. Bernie Siegel, MD, author of Love, Medicine, and Miracles, along with 42 extraordinary healing world changers that will motivate, educate, inspire, and propel you along your own path to wholeness, wellness, and abundance. Every compelling story will uplift you to your own epiphany of health isn't something you do, it's what you become along life's journey."
Boy, oh boy, and we have become that. I want to introduce, before I bring these 2 ladies, we're just going to have a sister talk here. I hope you don't mind. Karen Rudolf, fellow Floridian, Tranquil Solutions, SOUL, because it's all in your soul. And she has an amazing way of getting into your source energy, doing work with these beautiful equestrians as my mentor, and goodness sakes, my wonderful Dr. Jim Marinakis having 79 horses. I know Karen and Dr. Jim are just going to go off somewhere, but she's a personal power coach. She's a soulful connection woman. She has a way of just threading things in so that you find your heart. You find your heart mouth, as it said, and you meld into your heart math. I love that part. I'm very familiar with that work, but she has a way of communicating with conscious leaders. They just find her. And I'm so grateful that she found us. She found us and we found each other. Just thank you. As we would say, JB Owen, thank you, Papa Les. It is so wonderful. And we found each other with Sue Kostyk. I just absolutely, you ever have something that you just fall in love like right in the middle, right in the middle of mid-sentence. And she says the beauty of food, as in medicine, is the choice to be healthy and well. And it can be, doesn't, you don't have to wait. It can be as soon as your first meal. What Sue does as an integrated health practitioner, level 2 health coach, by the way, which is something to really be proud of. She took charge, just kind of like I took charge of my youngest son. She took charge of her own health as she was going through a health crisis with her daughter. But as Les Brown says, what you're going through, you will get through, and you will get to and through the other side. And that is the beauty of what we're doing here today. And this is the beauty of Health-a-Pedia. So I'm going to say, welcome, Sue. Welcome, Karen. My goodness gracious, my soul sisters in health. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Life's Milkshake Moment. I've just got to say, we always say life is like a milkshake. Choose your ingredients wisely, ladies. You're the ice cream. You're the really great full whipped cream. But then there's sprinkles and Oreo pieces and all kinds of just integrated cherries on top with the both of you. Thank you for just being my guest, ladies.
And you're the chocolate sauce.
Okay, I'll be the chocolate sauce. Okay, I'll accept that. What was that, Sue?
Or espresso.
Yes. And the mushroom coffee. So I'll just say, Sue, welcome. What tell people a little bit about you and just how you came into your journey with health, would you please?
Absolutely. And my journey with health really started when I was in middle school, but the reason why I'm here today and talking about what I'm talking about started about 12 years ago with my youngest daughter, as you introduced me, being diagnosed with leukemia and traveling that journey. And I talk about life and how are you going to react when life smacks you right between the eyes? If you don't have a strategy, hope is not a strategy in this particular case. So my story starts with my daughter being sick, but then it also leads into me having completely gotten myself into health issues because of being a caretaker.
Yes.
And this is another point, as we've talked about so many times, is caretakers, they need to take care of themselves. The cliche of putting your oxygen mask on first is the most true statement that you can possibly pass on. And if you're going to try to save someone else, you need to make sure that you don't drown in your own self-deprivation of remaining healthy, because you're not going to be good to anybody. So, my story is very long, but it can be told in such a nutshell of take care of yourself when life comes along. And that's why I found integrative health, because I didn't want any more pharmaceutical medications on my daughter, who had already gone through 3 years. And so I found it. I did certification upon certification, and I'm doing even another one as we speak, just to continue, because people need this.
Yes.
People need to know that they can eat their way into good health.
It's like my husband said, just how many certifications are you going to keep doing? I said, my last certification will be when you bury me. And that's just the way it is. So welcome, Karen, as well. What a beautiful story, because not only did you find, Sue, how to take care of your daughter, but in the meantime, you found healing and wholeness for you. And you've made it very easy and simplistic and just a beautiful way. And Karen, I'm telling you, when I heard you speak, when we did Ignite Your Faith, when I first heard you speak, I thought, I love her. See, I told y'all, we're just going to, if you want to listen to the broadcast, that's fine. But we're just going to have a kind of a fun little time here, because it is just that beautiful. I said, I love her. I don't know anything else to say, but I said, I love her. And now you're here and we're doing this project together. So bring our audience a little bit into you, Karen, and how you found Tranquil Solutions.
Oh gosh. Years ago when I was a little child, I lived at the end of woods, and I would go into the woods and heal my Barbie dolls. So I always knew I was a healer. And excuse me. Fast forward, I went into nursing. My mother was a hypochondriac, and I lived in this space of not enough and the victim role. I didn't know how to get out of it because once you're in it, in your environment, it just becomes a norm. And one of the things I learned when I was a child very early on is I was very inquisitive, and I would ask a ton of questions, and I would always hear, "Go play, go play." Kids. So the subconscious, excuse me, the subliminal message was kids were to be seen, not heard. And fast forward, when I started my nursing career, the doctors would say, discharge this patient. Here's a ton of scripts. And, just do that. And when I would question it and said, you're not getting to the root cause of it, why are you giving all these scripts? They were like, just follow your orders. And so again, it made me feel like I wasn't enough and I didn't know what I was talking about. And then I gave up my nursing career. I was really burnt out in oncology as an empath. I was taking everything home with me. And later on, after going through a divorce, my mother ended up getting really, really sick. And she was always calling me. And of course, when I had little children, I was going from like 1 year on the phone going,
Right.
I can't talk right now. I can't talk, And then all of a sudden I didn't hear from her. And I called her up. She was slurring her words. I dropped everything. I went 2.5 hours away and found her in a ball on the floor in the fetal position. And my mother was a big woman. And in that space of looking at my mother, I didn't see my mother. I saw a little girl who was craving love, craving understanding, craving attention, and wanting to be loved. And I said, the buck stops here. I just, in that moment, I went, I'm going to be a catalyst for change. And I fondly say I re-engineer human perception for a living. I'm a catalyst for change, and with a former nurse looking towards holistic with a W in front of the holistic. For me, and I support the mental, the body, the mind, the body, and the soul. So when I look through all of that, and then going through my own experiences with my health, I've always gone the holistic route after that. After my mother I found my mother, she was on 19 medications, 3 doctors later, and none of them were in touch with each other. And I went, no more, not on my watch.
Not to looking at the end of your life with in a bowl of petroleum-based pills. You see, we had that story of our mothers, and Sue, you were the consummate mother. See, we never lose that. And in the book, and by the way, ladies and gentlemen, got to buy the book. It's on Amazon on Monday. Okay, you got to buy the book. But it says holistic, HOH, not WHOLE dash listic. And Sue, you've made your own word in your power quote too, but I said holistic, not half-listic. Let's just give each other a high five on that. I've just got to say in advance, I'm not sure why StreamYard is not letting us do together, but we're just going to use this kind of format, and it's going to be wonderful. So Sue, why did you say? I mean, you've got a lot going on. You were just finishing another book with Jim Britt. Like there are 8 billion people in the world, and a lot of people read. So there's room for Jim, there's room for JB, there's room for us, there's room for us all. But why did you say yes?
I said yes. Well, you mentioned it too. I mean, it was like this immediate love fest between us. So, And I am so passionate about getting this message out. I am a retired 40-year plus global event planner turned integrative health practitioner. So getting this word out, I needed an avenue to do this. And when you and I connected and I started seeing how these pieces were falling together and who you actually had, I feel like I'm a very small part of this, and you've got a lot of big names in this book. And I am very honored to be named along with these people that you have, these pioneers in this industry that I have just, over the last 5 years been in. So just the whole experience with working with you, Jody, and knowing what you stand for, that we are so connected and there's so much synergy in this. I hope we do more. I'm excited. Yeah, I hope we do more.
Oh, I received that. I wasn't looking for a compliment, but I guess you're supposed to say, I take it. That feels good.
Yes, you should. Absolutely. Absolutely. And we talk about our mothers, and you two had different situations with your mothers. My mother, when I was in middle school in the 70s, she was a pioneer in what I'm doing now. And all I could do was roll my eyes at her, because she wanted to put bran in my sandwiches. So
nice.
Yes, she was she was one of the first people I ever knew that took sugar and flour out of her diet. And that was in the 70s.
Wow. That was a woman way ahead.
Yes.
And so, I mean, and how beautiful that is. So I tell you, Karen, we're going to come back with the same question after this commercial break. For you, what made you say yes? But please say yes. Health-a-Pedia.com. We put the dashes in there because we didn't want it just to come up pediatric. We wanted to be for everyone. But I'll tell you something. This is more than just. It will be a household word. I really, really believe this. And I know something that's a household word is our next sponsor, and it is, who doesn't drink coffee? We all do. Everyone drinks coffee. How about healthy coffee? How about a 6 mushroom blend that, yes, yours truly, any product you see here online, I had the honor of formulating this. So let's take a listen on this healthy 6 mushroom coffee from Vibra. Yes, let's just lift it with that 6 mushroom coffee blend and I'll tell you something, after I got off the phone with you, Karen, I just felt like I had a really great cup of either mate or a real soulful spiritual connection when we first met. So why did you say yes? I mean, you've had a thing or two going on with your health, recouping from a pretty severe accident, and you're on your way mending because you know what to do. Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
But I mean, why did you say yes? You could have easily said no, but it could have been a yeah, but, and everybody would have understood.
I feel as if it's been a calling for me for many, many years. I feel like I'm being pulled by the neck, and it's like I'm following the calling. And when you said that, it wasn't even a hesitation, and I'm very grateful because I've been putting it out in the universe for a long time. I believe in what I do very much, wholeheartedly. I studied, excuse me, I studied many different genres, like you, certifications out the wazoo. But one of the things that really fascinated me, coming from a nursing background, was Dr. Emoto's work, the study of water. And listening to Wayne Dyer over the years, and every thought we think becomes, things. And Dr. Emoto,
things that are imagined by the thought, as Wallace D. Wattles would say. Yes,
exactly. And I studied Waddle D. Wattles as well. So yeah, a culmination of all of them. Because coming from a nursing background, 78% of our body is water. And every cell of your body is carrying that water to every organ, and every organ is attached to, every cell is attached to an organ, and every organ is attached to ease or dis-ease. So we have the power with our minds to shift that. So as you mentioned, I mean, I had a major accident in January, and the doctors were like, you know, there's a good chance you couldn't walk again. And I went, no, my body's going to walk. And I did the same thing when my horse got struck by lightning. The vet was like, put it away.
But time out. So when you see, and when you buy the book and you see Karen speaks like she can't walk, who says no to you? Who says the doctors only see what they see? They don't know who you are. You're wearing heels, girlfriend. Congratulations.
I wasn't a major. I wasn't moving fast, but I was because every day I would write on paper, and I would just write this affirmation, and it was, you know, I declare in the beginning was the word, and I declared that my body was healing itself. I command it, I inspire it, I compel it, and I trust that my body is healing every day in every way. So it was just it just became a way of being. Well, I'm walking, you know, and I just had another surgery recently that I'm recovering from. It really inspires me to realize that our thoughts become things, and we have control over every thought we think, and how our words, when we put out there, our words are our wand. It creates our reality. And what do we want to manifest, and what do we want to bring into our space, especially for me in the space of well-being, because you know, our health is our wealth. Yes. And health is the vessel that it's created from. So without that, I don't have anything, you know. So that's, to me, is the foundational point of it. So, you know,
that is the foundation. And I'm thinking, okay, I've got a soul, solutions, and symmetry. I mean, this is and there's such symmetry even in the three, you know, there's such symmetry and health and wellness. So thinking about once again, I mean, I've got to say, Sue, you could have gone ahead and said, but I've already done a book. Oh, I don't, but you saw a solution. I'm going to use your word, Karen. You saw a solution. And so where is the chapter of your book going to be the betterment of really the face of people in Arizona and people that have children with cancer? Where is your book chapter going? That's a beautiful way to share this.
So rephrase that for a second. Where is it?
I believe that you've got a purpose with your chapter. After you buy the book and you'll see Sue's chapter, where are you going with your message?
I do have a specific goal in mind. So my chapter, can I tell what the title of the chapter is?
Sure, absolutely.
So the title is Wealthy in Health, Mind, and Spirit. And for my personal example, I could not move forward in my life, in my purpose, having health issues. And I have a real big heart for, I call them momcologists, because that's what we become when we're walking through a cancer diagnosis with our children.
Sure.
And I barely hung on by the skin of my teeth. If I can put any glimmer of help or hope into anyone, not just going through a health crisis with their child, but any kind of door being slammed in their face called life, to give you just some steps, some basic steps, so that you can come out healthy and, you know, step into your purpose, continue walking through life, because life is going to happen.
Yes.
We all know that.
Lives. I mean, Karen, you weren't planning on having a major accident like this, and something that you love to do. And I love what Bernie says, that what our job is to, as healers, is how to get between office visits, how to get between consultations. And what you're going to do and repurposing this is going to be amazing. Now, I'm going to put this slide up right now, because I want our audience to see that you can order any of these books. But what you can do right now, you can go on any of our websites. You can go ahead and actually today is the last day you can pre-order, but you can go to Amazon over the weekend. But just decide that you're going to be a patron right here, right now, this month of our show on Traverse TV. We have our own Health-a-Pedia channel. That's how this began. JB asked me to come on her network, and here we were. But check this out. A portion of each and every book sold is going to go to just help the people, even if it's just a little bit, that are suffering so in Maui, Hawaii, through the end of this month. And also because you and I, we all know Kim Jacobs from this show, and the many times that I've been on the same stage with Les and Kim and her son, Gabriel, who just had a little bit of something wrong with his heart, and just had, way before we knew about myocarditis, just died suddenly on the basketball field. He was doing what he wanted to do. But Gabe's Beating Heart Foundation and his big brother, Ivan, is in the book as well. And so we're giving a portion of these proceeds back to Kim and Ivan, because Ivan's in the book for Gabe's Heart Foundation. So we're a giving back person. So just go ahead, click the link, know that the money's going to go to a very, very good cause. So let's just go ahead. We're going to go ahead, and I'm going to just pluck it back to you. This is like playing ping pong, only we're just, maybe it's a different way of tennis. It's all love. Okay, that's what we're doing. So just, Karen, what else were you going to say about anything that we've just spoken? I know I just feel energetically you just said, oh, I want to say this. Go ahead and do it.
Well, first of all, I'm inspired by both of you, because to me, it's all connected. No matter what we do, we come together. It's all connected. It's all mind, body, soul. And the work we do, I believe, is extremely powerful when people are open to looking at different perceptions, different alternatives. So I always love to say, when you change the way you look at things, the way you look at things change. Wayne Dyer actually said it, the way you look at things, the things you look at change. My brain heard it one way, which is just a different perception, means the same thing. But that's the quote that took me global with this message. And I've created a program for this that I'm really excited about, that really touches the subconscious mind and brings it out. I believe we all have the answers when we tap into it.
Did you know that you were going to lead into our next sponsor? When you talk about the subconscious mind, there are no accidents. Are y'all feeling it out there, ladies and gentlemen, just how special Sue and Karen are? My goodness gracious. Yes, Confidence Tones. This is Brain Immersion. This is a program that I had the pleasure of being a consultant. It's brain immersion into not only binaural, solfeggio, isochronic, you name it, gamma, theta, beta, just to get into that trauma of getting out what's inside so you can live abundantly. Let's take a look. Let's take a listen to Confidence Tones, shall we?
Welcome to Confidence Tones, where we use a proprietary audio development formula called audio immersion to provide an experience that's designed to help quickly and effortlessly generate positive change in the subconscious mind when used correctly. This experience is achieved using 4 primary building blocks: brainwave modulation, invocation of positive emotions, immersive imagination stimuli, and developmental suggestion. We know of no other source in the world that provides the synergistic combination. With a good pair of headphones, you'll be able to immerse yourself into audio that's designed specifically to help you feel better, do better, and live better.
And that's what my guests here, Sue Kostyk and Karen Rudolf with an F. We know that. And that's always going to be our little one on that one. Karen Rudolf with an F. You won't forget it's not PH, is F. And frankly, so that we can live better, we can feel better, and we do better. That is our message. So Karen, back to you. What, when, you just gotten off a book, And that was doing Ignite Faith, that your faith that we did, and then you just jumped into another. You said, I mean, there's got to be that. Was it that extra message that you felt I got more in me? Was that it?
It's interesting because back in the day, I remember putting on my vision board, oh, I'm going to be an international bestseller. And I let it go and I never thought about it again. And then all of a sudden, it was like one of the other Ignite books came up. And then JB got in touch with me. She was following me during my accident and said, would you be interested in doing the Ignite Your Faith? And I went, I got that one down pat, man. I was 3 weeks in Costa Rica, not speaking the language. I definitely had it down pat. So I jumped into that, but that was more for me cathartic. It was letting it out and promoting it, not just for my own healing, but for the healing of others as well. Because everything is relatable. We could always see ourselves mirroring in someone's story. So when this came along, it was interesting because no sooner did you ask me this, and another book came along about spiritual nutrition, and I went, the universe is talking to me.
And you were listening. I mean, it's how often I spoke with Dr. Jim today that this is your message through wholeness and healing, Sue. It's my message. I know it's your message, Karen, that listen to your body. It tells you the tap on the shoulder, the 2x4. Just don't let it wait till it's the Mack truck. Your body will talk, and it begins, and health begins, as you say on your website, Sue, with your next meal. It can be as simple as that. So, knowing that, did you just feel like you had something else more to say? Because you just written, and it was a pretty ambitious undertaking with Jim Britt in your book. And what's that book called?
That book is the Cracking the Rich Code.
Beautiful, beautiful. Yeah. So your health is wealth. I'm sure that's what did that debut already? Did it launch?
No, actually it's launching after Health-a-Pedia. So yeah.
Well, look at you. I've got 2 books launching in September. Look at you. Look at you. And why did I put this up? Because health-a-pedia.net, you can get information. We are going to be doing yet another book. It will be women's health. It looks like that seems to be the vibe that people are going to. And I think I'm just playing with it. Should I ask my girlfriends here? Sue, Karen, what you think? Health-a-Pedia, She Power Edition.
Oh, love it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. Women's health is such an important topic and so overlooked.
Yes. I mean, I really, really agree. So you can go to health-a-pedia.net. You can get the information. You can be on the early bird list. We'll be doing this after our upcoming event. You see, Health-a-Pedia just isn't a book, ladies and gentlemen. It's a movement. We're going to be doing masterminds together with these just absolute gooey women. Once we're going to be doing a live event in Boca Raton in our neck of the woods. I know you and Melanie Summers are going to be flying out from Arizona to see us, Sue, and everything else. When you said, "Oh, I'm there," that was just so beautiful. But I mean, knowing that we're going to start a live event, and it will be at the Wyndham Hotel in Boca Raton, Florida, with the farmers market, the first organic farm to table restaurant east of the Mississippi. Nice. So what a perfect, and so the food's going to be good. The whole deal is so how does it feel to just feed into Karen and Sue, and whoever wants to go first, that's fine. But you think about, here we have these books, you've got this message. We find Les Brown together. I got reconnected. I had a 6-month break, but then we're back together again, and just crafting that message so then that we can tell our message of healing, hope, and your health is wealth in such a soulful way, on the live stage. How about you, ladies?
Well, go ahead.
That was cute. I knew that was going to happen. Somehow,
right.
I think personally, thank you. I think personally, I believe personally that there are never any coincidences in life. And I believe we were brought together for a reason or a season. And in that season, it's our duty, in a sense, it's our calling to bring forth this message so people hear that they have choice. The power of choice is so amazing. And most
Yes.
people don't even really realize that they have a choice. They feel that, you go to a doctor, and I'm not knocking doctors. So, I have one I'm using, but I also look at alternative methods. So I empower myself to empower others. And when I do that, I speak from a space of possibility, coming from a space of trusting my intuition, trusting my body, because my body is always talking, always talking. And if I don't
Yes.
listen, as you said, it's the 2x4. I wasn't listening. And when I was in Costa Rica, I had that hit, don't go on the horse. I love going on horses alongside the beach. That's my very favorite thing to do. And I said, no, I'm not going to go. And when I said that to them, I felt guilted into going. And I should have listened to my
Mhm.
intuition. So again, we have a willpower. I chose not to listen, and then there's always cause and effect. So the consequence. But I really believe that this is not a coincidence for doing this here and now.
No.
And I'm so grateful for you, Dr. Jody. Amazing space. Thank you.
Oh,
And
thank you. And I'm so grateful for y'all. So you can go to drjody.com/events. I've got live events on my website. You can get information because we are doing, and I'm going to get into this after. I want you, Sue, to really go into this questions. We'll tell you more about our live event, but please share in your sooness is what I'm going to call it, because that's what I feel when you speak on our coaching calls. It's such a soonest moment.
I love that. I agree so much with everything that Karen said, but part of the reason why I really want to get this message out, and as we all say, we ignore the signs and our bodies talk to us, but we as a society have really made it normal to not listen to the signs. I grew up in corporate America, a single parent. I went to work. I was hacking up a lung with 102 fever because that's what you did, or you weren't loyal, or you weren't trying.
You got fired.
Exactly. And it was like showing how strong and brave you were, if you could manage to last the day if you had the flu. And we've just desensitized ourselves so much to really listening to ourselves. And part of my signature talk is really talking about the check engine lights of our life. And we have check engine lights in our car, and how many of us ignore them? We say a prayer, we lay hands on the car, we do everything we're supposed to do except take it to the mechanic, just hoping that we're going to get through and not break down on the side of the road. And we do the exact same thing with our physical, our mental, and our spiritual health. And it's time to get the message out that we need to get back in tune with our bodies. We need to get back in tune with nature. We need to get back in tune with our creator so that we can live a long, healthy, robust life and really enjoy it.
Yeah.
And be all that we were meant to be. And we say, amen. Amen.
Yeah.
So Karen, I think I'm feeling like we're in church here talking about. Are we in health church here? Are we in like health church here? Say amen. Say Billy Graham. It feels really good. It feels really, really good. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm just going to say one more time: buy the book. Buy the book. As Martin Pratt and Tenji Collins of TMZ that endorsed our book, and they said, if Jody Bear is doing this, I'm right alongside you. Tenji Collins is one of our sponsors on our virtual live summit, and I want to go there next with our time remaining, because not only do we have a live summit in Boca, but you buy the book on the 18th, as Martin Pratt said, buy two. Because this is a book that you're going to give to somebody, the people that always borrow a book and you never get it back. because they're going to start, oh yeah, I'm still reading these stories, because we've got 3 here. And how about having 37 more stories that are just exactly like this? 37 more. My goodness gracious, how beautiful is that? So just knowing that we have book launch week, it's in 4 days. We're going to have, and look us on us for social media. Going to have some surprises that morning when we do our launch. We're going to make sure that you have that extra cup of mushroom coffee, Sue, at 8 a.m. in Arizona for sure. And then we'll kick this off. But then we're coming back for 3 days. We'll be on Traverse TV Tuesday from noon Eastern to 6 p.m. Eastern. Wednesday from noon to 4 Eastern. And then we come back, we skip a day, and we're back Friday from noon to 6. 23 hours of broadcasting, hearing these stories, hearing people pour in their knowledge and their love and just absolute passion and conviction. And so how does that feel to either of you? Just that we're just not launching a book, then we've got a virtual event to look forward to.
Absolutely. It's community. It's a wave.
Yes.
It is a wave. It's a big tidal wave. So it's exciting. It's so synergistic.
Yes.
That this is all happening, and the people that have come together in this book and what is being shared, it is going to be a directory.
Yes.
It will. I mean, it is. I wish I had something 12 years ago when I was sitting in the corner in the fetal position eating bonbons because I didn't know what to do.
Yes.
So.
Yes, and the story that you're sitting on, someone is waiting on. I think we've heard Les say that, Uncle Les say that many, many, many times. So, Karen, what can people look forward to tuning in? It'll be live on social media on my YouTube channel, and it's just real easy. It's got a real catchy way. It's at Dr. Jody. Okay, you'll find me at Dr. Jody always, and it's JODEE. Thought I'd make it easy, but what can people expect to be tuning into during this time, Karen?
Oh, a lot of wisdom and insight and awarenesses that, it's just a plethora of people giving of themselves. We're just giving from heart space. That's really going to make a difference in showing up for you. So show up for that. It's worth it.
It's worth it. And you can go to drjody.com/events. Not only will the virtual summit be there, you can click on, you can send it to your friends, but also you'll scroll on down and you'll see the Boca event will be headed off with none other than Dr. James Marinakis, my teacher, trainer, guru for the last 15 years. Then we've got people like Rex Sykes, mentalist. The founder is, as far as I'm concerned, there's nobody living right now and breathing that does more with NLP. Dame Doria Cordova is going to be doing a Ho'oponopono prayer before she goes into her financial pillar. We have Jamie Kerr. We got to meet his cute little Scottish accent today. Wasn't that just adorable on our mastermind? Think of one so young has taken and leveled up NLP to now. He's got a new modality, and he's going to be debuting it here. He told me, Jody, I just finished writing up this coursework. I told my new bride, I need to find a place to publish it. And I called. We hadn't talked for a year. Wow. Those are the miracle stories of Health-a-Pedia. And then Serena Brown Travis, Les's beautiful daughter, and an award-winning child, not only a youth pastor and a minister, but she is an award-winning creator of children's books with Perfect Penny. So those are who you're going to hear from today. So Sue, what comes up for you that you would love to share with our audience?
About the summit?
Yes, either of the summits, I guess.
I know. Well, there's so many choices. So the virtual summit I'm super excited about because I feel like people who can't dedicate a lot of time. They can, hop in and out and just get all those rich, rich nuggets that we're all going to be giving out, heartfully giving out. And I've been on a couple of different summits, and I know for a fact that this summit, you will come out so rich in wisdom, in health, in mindfulness, in finance, every aspect that you need to have a whole life, really.
Yes.
And, it's just going to be even 1,000% more in an in-person summit. I mean, how could it not be more? So.
Exactly. So you can go to drjody.com. You have all those things. And just like we're in Florida, Karen, there seems to be this little firefly that keeps wanting to get in the screen with us. They thought we needed a fourth guest. Isn't that, I'm not sure how we got
in the way. It's lighting the way.
Lighting the way. Absolutely. That's so beautiful. So Karen, what are your final comments? And I want to make sure that people know how they can get a hold of you, how they can. And I know you've got a free gift on your website for sure. I've seen it. I've seen it. Tranquil Solutions. But what is your final comment about just this being together that we are here and doing this together?
I believe personally that we're not meant to be doing life alone. For me, it's all about collaboration, and wellness begins with self and expands into community. And if you can't give, as you had said earlier, Sue, putting on your oxygen mask first, you can't give to another to the same. So why not expand yourself with all this value and context that we're going to be offering, and make it work for you, make it work for others around you. So everybody is in a wholeness, well-being, fulfilled state of being. I mean, that's, to me, heaven on earth. Why wouldn't you want to be a part of that?
And I think the firefly that's in my studio office right now would agree. Absolutely. So what is your final piece of wisdom, Sue? This is just, hasn't this been gooey, ladies? This has just been
so
gooey hour, just a gooey hour together. How did this just fly? Just like the firefly. So what is your final piece of wisdom, Sue? I know there's so much in there for you, inside of you.
There is so much. But my final piece of wisdom is, do not wait. Make sure that you are paying attention to your check engine lights. Do not wait. Get healthy. It's not hard. Find someone that you trust. Find someone that has knowledge. Find someone that you feel synergy with, but don't wait. Don't wait to take care of yourself. That is the absolute wrong thing to do.
And 5 years as a health coach, being a level 2 healthcare practitioner already, and what you've lit up my life. Let me tell you something. She throws herself in there. That's an endorsement. So just make sure you go to drjody.com/events. You'll see everything. You'll see our virtual event. You'll see, of course, you will see our Boca event, and it will sell out. We've only got 150 tickets. That's just the way it is, because we want to keep it intimate so that we can create an epiphany. So what you have to say, Karen, you don't like to go to these things and you're like overloaded and then you need a month to rest. No, this is going to be, we energize each other so that we can go forward in absolute empowerment to not only change yourself, but change the world. And can we say it together? They've got to buy the
Book.
Yes, buy the book. It's going to great charitable fund. And like I said, I'm going to put it up here one more time that you go ahead and order a limited edition copy here. You can go ahead and, being a part of our network this month, everything that you donate as a patron is going towards Maui Relief and Gabriel Jacobs, his Gabe's Beating Heart Foundation, because that's just how we do it. So ladies, I want to say thank you from my heart. I think if Papa Les were here, Uncle Les, as we call him, our coach of coaches, he would say, it's possible. Know that it's possible inside of you. It's possible. I'm possible, but you're possible too. Thank you, ladies, for making this and making this time, this life's milkshake moment. There's sprinkles, there's been fruit, there's been Skittles and every other topping around. I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart, as we would say, namaste.
Saying thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I truly, truly know that this is just a snippet. 4 days till the launch, 4 days until we are here saying that we are all international. I believe with your help, we can get there to 13 countries. Why not? Why not go ahead and do 13 countries in Amazon, then go to international bestseller in all of those countries. But then we go not only there, but we go ahead and New York Times bestseller. We have the connections, we have the heart, we have the expertise. Now, all we need is you, because it is necessary, as Les Brown says, for you to do what only you can do. Go after it as though your life depends on it, because at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, it does. So until you say us on our virtual summit, there will be no Life's Milkshake Moments next Thursday. We're going Tuesday, noon to 6, Wednesday, noon to 4, Friday, noon to 6. Just remember that life is like a milkshake. Choose your ingredients wisely. And when you do, life will be oh so sweet. Karen and Sue, you've made my life richer because you came into it. So until next time, this is Dr. J saying, have a healthy day. Ciao for now.